You know what you're listening to?
Next question.
It's Dan Patrick On Demand. Thank you.
Here he is, joined by the Danettes. It's Dan Patrick.
Final hour of the program. Well, just today, Dan and the Danettes, Dan Patrick Show. Coming up, Reggie Aloysius Miller will join us. Got a chance to watch Russell Westbrook Jr. III last night. He put on another display, another triple-double. He's averaging a triple-double. Instead of Ice Cube messing around with a triple-double, he's averaging a triple-double. Can you be an MVP on an average team? Can we look at that, McLovin, and see the last time, and I don't even know how, the worst record for an MVP?
Let's get Stats Inc. on it.
Yes, yeah, get somebody else on it that can take care of this in the span that we need it, in the next 15 minutes or so. All right, we also have whose stats would you want? But more importantly, during the commercial break, we were talking about Tom Herman, I believe the new head coach of Texas, is a member of Mensa. And I said to Paulie, not that Tom brought it up to us, but I said to Paulie, if you were a member of Mensa, would you tell people you were a member of Mensa? Or would you let somebody say, boy, you're pretty smart. Are you a member of Mensa? It's kind of like when you wear your Ivy League sweatshirt, McLovin, just to let people know you went to an Ivy League. Shouldn't I be able to tell that you've gone to an Ivy League school?
I don't wear an Ivy League sweatshirt.
Not anymore, after we made fun of you.
Well, the worst is Harvard. Harvard people traditionally have to get it in within three sentences.
Okay. Have you ever... Okay, first of all, let's get to Mensa.
Okay, Mensa is an organization, basically a high IQ organization, for those who don't know.
Are you a genius if you're a member of Mensa?
They're a group. They're the International High IQ Society.
So you just have a high IQ, you're not a genius.
Right.
Like Bill Walsh was considered a genius.
This group's activities include exchange.
But I don't know if Bill Walsh was a member of Mensa. Is Bill Belichick a genius, but not a member of Mensa? Would you rather be a genius or a member of Mensa? I think I'd rather be a genius than a member of Mensa.
Mensa has meetings. They have like ID cards, so you could prove it.
Wait, you have an ID card?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm reading the Mensa website right now. I might need help reading all of it.
Okay. So would you tell somebody you're a member of Mensa?
Why else would you join?
Well, how would that come up in conversation? How do you? Well, there are gatherings.
Okay,
God.
I know.
Stephen, ask me what I'm doing this weekend.
Hey, Paul, what are you doing this weekend?
Busy weekend. I got my Mensa call 8 o'clock on Saturday. Then I got to rake leaves all day. Look at that. I mentioned Mensa.
Okay. And you didn't mention it in an uncomfortable way.
It's a fact.
But it's very natural how you delivered that. Yes, McLevin.
But if you're in Mensa, you're probably running with a crew where you don't need to mention you're in Mensa. Just being in that, like, you're probably not hanging out with us. You're probably a nuclear physicist and you're at the lab. You don't have to mention that because everybody's a genius.
What is considered, like, where does your IQ, what's the bottom out part of Mensa?
Like, what's the bottom of the barrel of Mensa, guys?
Yeah. Can I slip in somehow?
I think it's 130.
Oh.
It's either 130 or 132.
Oh, okay.
I think is the bottom of the
That's
barrel.
it?
And now I'm looking at a list of notable Mensons.
Is that what they're called?
Mensens.
And just to clarify, it's not a men's club. It's not Mensa, and there's not a womansa. It's for
So
men
women could be in the Mensa?
Yes.
The American version or chapter of Mensa is made up 66% men, 33% women.
Okay.
And I'm looking at this list of famous Mensons.
Yeah.
And it's everyone from like a writer, an author, a sheriff of Orange County, an American businessman, a boxer,
anybody I know,
adult film actress.
Adult film actress?
Yes. A famous pianist, Academy Award-winning actress, Gina Davis, Menson.
Is James Wood? James Woods is the actor.
He had a perfect SAT is the urban myth. I don't know if that's true, but he probably could be.
He is not listed in the W's section.
Anybody I know in there besides Gina Davis?
Oh, boy. Maybe Norman Schwarzkopf.
Yeah, I didn't know him.
The general?
He
was a big deal back in the day.
The general from the car insurance company with Shaq? The general?
That's how he's so smart. That's how he saves you the money. God. He's so smart.
Wait, do you know Gina Davis, by the way?
Yeah, it was a brief...
How about Bernie Labarge? Have you ever heard of
Is Tony Kornheiser on there? I thought Miss Tony was a member of Mensa.
Hello, Eric Casillas, former ESPN radio television personality, is listed amongst famous Mensons.
I think he mentioned that, didn't he?
Why wouldn't you?
I don't know.
Why would you not?
Maybe that's how he got Holly Saunders.
Booyah.
Yes, Paul.
If you guys are in your 20s and single, serious question. You met a girl at a bar and start talking to her, and what does she do? She says she's in the medical field, and I'm a member of Mensa. It just comes up. Do you think you would ask her out, or you'd be intimidated by her intelligence?
How does she bring up the fact that she's a member of Mensa?
It's somewhat casual, but
like, does she open up her wallet and she is going to get her credit card and the Mensa card spill? Because I've done that with my Screen Actors Guild card,
sure,
where I've gone to pay. And I put the Screen Actors Guild card there. We were in Santa Monica having breakfast, and I put the Screen Actors Guild, and I went, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm an actor."
In Santa Monica, that really goes over.
Yeah, because they never.
Whoa,
yeah.
What are you doing here, actor?
Whoa, of all places,
That's weird.
You're in Santa Monica. Yeah,
I think that'd be intimidating for a single dude if you met a girl.
Yeah, I would think so. What, McLovin?
I was pretty desperate in my 20s. You could have pulled out any card. I'd be like, yeah, that's cool.
Free clinic card.
Smart girls love to dumb it down with you. Don't worry about it. Really? Yeah, you don't have to be intimidated. It's okay. You can't be all everybody. Hey, let's talk physics and poetry readings all the time. Sometimes you just want to dumb it down a little bit. Go on the wrong side of the tracks.
Well, I tried to not talk sports. That didn't go well. Because then, you're going, I'm a sportscaster. Oh, okay. And then it's not going to go well. And then you're trying to talk about something else.
And it's like, so what else are you interested in other than sports?
Nothing. I like to drink beer, and I like sports and wings. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm quite a catch.
That was your rap?
Are you staring at my acne? Don't do that. Yes, Paulie.
When I met my wife in the conversation that first night, she told me she was in the process of getting her master's, and she worked in the political field. And I was like, ooh. It didn't seem to match kind of, playing PlayStation until 4 in the morning and stuff I did.
You just need a little balance there. Opposites attract. Yes, Eden.
My initial meeting with my wife was I had a pomegranate martini that I didn't want to drink, and she was like, "What are you doing?" And
pomegranate martini.
It was an Oprah's pomegranate martini party. She grabbed it out of my hand and said, "Somebody get this guy a beer." And then we went out and had a smoke, and I was like, "This chick rules." That's
all it took.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that'll give you an idea of what happens here behind the scenes.
Oprah's pomegranate martini.
Yeah. And what, McLovin?
Yeah, I met mine at a Mensa Society
meeting. No,
a poetry slam.
Yeah.
I was in Washington Square Park. Yeah. I was reading some poetry.
Yeah. You guys, I know
nice try.
Paulie's baiting me to say something that's going to get me trouble in the
No,
Dartmouth
don't,
community.
because he did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but he does this. Yeah, don't do that to him. Yeah.
Well,
McLovin gets himself in trouble. Remember he talked about the Duke women?
What? Was it Duke women?
Yes.
Oh,
that's why you didn't want to go there?
Yes. Is that what I said?
Yes. Yes. As I just got you in trouble again. All right, final hour. Reggie Miller will join us coming up. A couple of phone calls in here as well. Let me see. Paul in Arizona. Hey, Paul, welcome to the program. What do you have for me?
Hey, Dan. I find your discussion real interesting about these coaches and their so-called contracts. They must all have an escape clause in them. That's all I can figure out. And you have mentioned the players previously, but I think they're really the ones that are forgotten and kind of put on the back burner. It happened to me when I played back in the 70s. You just get a call in the middle of summer, and all of a sudden, what happened? And you played, so you know how those things can affect teams.
Yeah, I wish I was good enough to have been hurt if a coach was leaving. Thank you, Paul. Or that when I went in to tell my coach I was transferring, he did not even turn around. He was at his desk. I said, Coach, I think it's time I transfer. I agree. He didn't turn around.
Not an emotional.
No. Well, he could have been so choked up that he didn't want to turn around. And I remember I walked out because I think, boy, this is going to be really a hard, difficult conversation. He didn't even pause.
A fake pause?
No, I said, Coach Mulkey, Thinking about transferring.
That's good. We'll see you later. Hey, guy, I'll help you move. You need a ride?
Yeah.
Bus pass?
Yeah, it didn't go well.
He said, I think you're right.
Yes, he said, I think you're right.
I said, Coach, I think it's time for me to transfer. And he said, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
So it was a mutual decision.
It was.
Mutual parting.
Yes,
it really
it
happened.
was. It does happen that way.
Wow.
I didn't think he was the right coach for my style, and I wasn't the right player
Good luck
for
to you,
his
son.
style. It was so embarrassing.
All the best.
And then my dad goes, Coach upset with you? Because my dad says, you stick it out. And I go, because the coach hated me. And he goes, how was Coach when you told him, is he okay with it? I go, yeah, it took a little while, but I think it's good. He's going to get over losing a sharpshooter like me. Oh, man. It was so bad. So bad.
Did the team struggle next year? Were you hoping they went from 8 wins to 4 wins?
That's the problem. When you don't play on a team that's not any good, that's even worse.
I'm familiar.
Yeah. I would love to have not played on a team that was great. We weren't any good and I didn't get to play. Oh, boy. But the older I get, the better I was, though. All right, we'll come back. We will talk to Reggie Miller. He'll join us. We got whose stats would you want? More of your phone calls as well. McLovin will update the poll results. Just really getting started here, and we only got 40 more minutes left in the show. Aloysius will join us next. I have 2 MVPs that played for teams that had losing records. Will Russell Westbrook join that list? Maybe they won't have a losing record, but maybe they don't make the playoffs. So we'll talk to Reg joining us next, 18 after the hour. Dan Patrick Show.
Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans proudly supports us here at the Dan Patrick Show, and Rocket Mortgage brings the mortgage approval process into the 21st century. Fast, powerful, completely online. Rocket Mortgage has taken all the complicated, time-consuming parts of applying for a mortgage out of the equation. If you hate searching through stacks of old files and paperwork, with Rocket Mortgage, you can easily share your bank statements and pay stubs with the touch of a button, helping you get approved in minutes for a custom mortgage solution that's been tailored to your unique financial situation. And even better, with Rocket Mortgage, you can do all of this from your phone or tablet. It's a quick online process that you can manage from the convenience of your couch. So if you're looking to refinance your mortgage or buy a home, check out Rocket Mortgage today at quickenloans.com/Dan. That's quickenloans.com/Dan. Save yourself the hassle, save yourself the headache. Go to quickenloans.com/Dan. Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Make the process simple. Make it easy. Equal housing lender, licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org number 3030.
All right, I had McLovin reach out to Stats Inc. and our boy Matt Jenkins. I said, give me the last MVPs that played on a losing team. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did it. The Lakers were 2 games under 500 back in 75-76. Bob Pettit, 1955-56. His team was 6 games under 500. I don't think that Oklahoma City is going to end up under 500. But if they end up with 45, 46 wins, Russell Westbrook averages a triple-double. Can you give him the MVP? And that's why we bring in Reggie Aloysius Miller Jr. III. Hi, Reg.
Well, good morning and happy belated Turkey Day, Theodore and my Danettes.
What did you do for Thanksgiving?
I went to the desert. I was in La Quinta with the family, doing a little shredding on my mountain bike and relaxing and having a good time.
Nice.
Yes. And how was yours? Were you with family?
Yes, I was, with a lot of family.
Okay.
Too many family.
Good.
Yes. But all good.
That's what Thanksgiving is about. It's about being with a lot of family and getting into those heated Monopoly, Clue, Trouble, Uno arguments, which I'm sure you all got into.
But your family's competitive. I know you and Cheryl are. But did you guys ever get into, has it ever been heated in the Miller household at Thanksgiving?
Are you kidding me? Of course. Hey, don't get us all together to play a game of Monopoly. Trump would have nothing on the Miller family in terms of putting hotels on frickin' Boardwalk or Magnolia or
Baltic.
We were putting hotels everywhere. We would have a lot of business conflicts, just like Trump is going to have during his presidency.
You were putting hotels up in jail there.
Exactly. The little condo in the corner.
But you and Cheryl, you guys would never have sports, arguments like that at Thanksgiving, would you?
No, and a lot of people wanted to assume that we did because her being a Trojan and me being a Bruin. We actually got along because I was the biggest USC Trojan fan when Cheryl played UCLA, and I know the coaches, the women's coaches, did not like that. You know, they think you should be loyal and, you know, to your school, but blood is much more thicker. But that was the only time that I ever cheered for a USC Trojan to win a game, was when Cheryl was wearing her colors versus the Bruins.
But even football, you didn't admire USC football? UCLA wasn't that good.
No, we were not that good, and I told Cheryl we're not a football school. They are. So, no, we are not.
Okay, MVP on an average team or better than average team. If Russell Westbrook averages a triple-double, is he the MVP?
Yes, and I said this even before the season. If they get to 45 to 47 wins, and he has the kind of season that I was assuming, which he's having right now, that he would have. I didn't think he was going to be averaging a triple-double through 19 games,
yeah.
But if these kind of numbers, absolutely. And I also had Billy Donovan as Coach of the Year if they won 45 to 47 games, because with the loss of Kevin Durant, you know, it was going to be a changing of the guard, so to speak, for Russell Westbrook and, you know, for Billy Donovan. And for both of those guys to put up the numbers, especially Russ, I mean, this is an unbelievable pace he's been on. So, you know, the magic number for me was 45, but if he's averaging close to a triple-double, absolutely he should be the MVP.
What about Anthony Davis if he has a similar record?
But he won't. I don't think they'll get to 40 wins. And, you know, we've seen this in baseball. I believe A-Rod won the MVP on a last-place Seattle team. Am I right about that?
Yeah.
That
no, he was with Texas, I think, weren't they?
Texas,
yeah.
Right. And they, you know, they were in last place, and he won the MVP. So you know, it's been done before, obviously, in other sports. It's been a while since it's been done in the NBA. We usually like to regard winners, guys that have been on winning teams with the MVP. But if Westbrook continues to put up these numbers, I love the numbers that Anthony Davis is putting up. He just doesn't have a real supporting cast. You know, I see 35 to 38 wins for New Orleans, but I definitely can see the Thunder, you know, 45-plus wins and Russell winning that MVP.
Reggie will be on the call for the Rockets at the Warriors. That'll be Thursday night at 10:30 Eastern on TNT.
Hey, but Dan, there's a lot of other great candidates. You know, you mentioned Houston, who I'm going to be calling on Thursday. What James Harden is doing, you know, moving to that point guard position. And you know what? Let's stop calling him a point guard. Let's just call him a player. He's a baller.
No, he's Reg, he's a points guard.
By title, but he's a baller. Last year he was a shooting guard, and this year...
No, but I'm combining the two. He's not a point guard. He's a points guard. So he scores and he distributes.
He does it all. I mean, you would put him in the MVP. I would put Kawhi Leonard in there. LeBron James. You mentioned Anthony Davis. There's a lot of guys that have strong early season candidates for MVP.
Who would you rather have, James Harden or Russell Westbrook?
And it doesn't matter who my supporting cast is.
No.
If I was starting the draft and those two guys are the first one and two.
Yeah.
Russell, man, this dude, that demeanor, man. This dude plays mean. I love it. I love Russell Westbrook, man. And I'm not saying because he's a Bruin, but, man, this kid don't care. He don't care about anyone but his family and his teammates.
Can he have that chip on his shoulder for 82 games?
I hope Billy Donovan and them try to find rest for him, because he just played back-to-back minutes of 38 and 41 minutes, and that is way too much this early in the season. So I hope they find ways to rest him, but it's different now, because before, when you had Kevin Durant, you could play off one another and guys could take breaks and rest. Russell doesn't have that luxury anymore because he has to do so much.
He's Reggie Miller. He's got Rockets and the Warriors on Thursday night. If I said Harden or Kevin Durant?
Kevin Durant.
Harden or Steph?
Come on, man. Why are you going down this road with me?
Because you have the game coming up Thursday night.
And it does not matter who the supporting cast is.
No,
is that what you're saying?
You're starting.
Because that matters.
You're starting your team, and you got Harden or Steph Curry, and Reggie Miller is on the clock with the first pick. And Reggie, your pick is.
And knowing what I know now,
yes,
I'm going still with Steph.
Oh.
But look, I'm not trying to discount what James has done and is doing, because I didn't think we were going to see this type of play out of him under Mike D'Antoni's system. But he has flipped the script, and again, an early season candidate for MVP, just for the simple fact, the passes he's making were shots last year. Let's be honest. To me, he was borderline a selfish player last year. I don't know the rift with Dwight Howard or the system. He just didn't care. This year, he's showing that he's care, and he has incorporated his teammates along the way. And I love it. I love the way he's playing.
Last hour I talked to Tom Herman. He left Houston to take the Texas job. And I don't know, did you have the same coach all 4 years at UCLA?
No, my first year was Larry Farmer, and my last 3 was Walt Hazzard.
Oh, okay. Because that whole thing of a coach looking at another job, and that you couldn't transfer without sitting out, but a coach can take a job. So you didn't experience that.
No, but this goes back to my whole NCAA thing and double standards. Because why can't a player do the same thing a coach does? Especially the coaches are getting millions of dollars from shoe companies. They can change venues and get to work right away, but a student athlete, quote, student athlete, has to sit out a particular year. I just don't understand, at times, the hypocrisy that the NCAA has in terms of its student athletes and its policies.
A couple of the things NBA-wise. Mark Cuban says the Mavericks are not tanking, even though they're not playing very well. Do you believe him?
Well, look, no, I don't think they're tanking. Dirk has been hurt at a stretch of a time. Darren Williams has not been healthy. And I think if you're Rick Carlisle, you look at the big picture. You see the landscape of the Western Conference, and he wants his guys to be healthy, after the new year. So tanking for what? Because I look at the college game. There's not one Ben Simmons overall number 1 pick coming out this year, so I don't know exactly what you're tanking for. I think more so Rick Carlisle and Cuban want his guys to be healthy.
Yeah, I was looking at the same thing when you're saying, all right, if we're tanking, who are we tanking for? And we haven't seen enough college basketball yet this year where you say, okay, that guy is going to be the number 1 overall pick. And even then, if it's the number 1 overall pick, it doesn't mean it's a LeBron James.
You're going to get it. I mean, when's the last time a team with the worst record has gotten the overall number 1 pick?
True. I don't know. McLevin.
It's been a while, so.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything else on your mind that I need to bring the nation's attention to?
Well, how's my man Fritzy with the double hernia? Is he back now? Because I talked to Paulie, but it's been a while since I spoke to my man Fritzy. Is he doing okay? Is he alive?
How long would you be out for a double hernia surgery?
Maybe a couple days or so. I got a high tolerance for pain. Are you telling me Fritzy is like milking it? Come on, Fritzy, man. Don't be one of those guys that
2 weeks
stay at
tomorrow.
home and have...
Yeah, 2 weeks tomorrow.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, man. I thought my Danettes were tougher than this.
No, they're not.
Are you kidding me?
No, they're... What, Paulie?
We just all said don't lump us in.
Yeah, hello. Some of us haven't gone anywhere.
Well, McLevin has been milking the high ankle sprain for 2 years now.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, this is unacceptable, Danettes. I thought y'all were better than this. I thought I trained you guys better than this.
What, McLevin?
It is 2 hernias, Dan, to be fair.
But it's 1 surgery. Right?
I don't know, Reggie, does 2 hernias and 1 surgery count as 1 surgery?
It's double hernia surgery.
Do we know what goes into the recovery of a double hernia? Like, what is the time? What does he have to do? Does he have to get on a walker? I mean, what is the, does he have to go for therapy?
I have no idea.
Or just bed rest?
I know that Black China just had a baby with Rob Kardashian, and she's already out and looking great. So, just saying, Reg.
Fritzy, if you're listening, which we know you are, come on, buck up, man. You're making all of us Danettes look bad. All of us.
Well, try to stir it up at Golden State. Rockets at Golden State Thursday night at 10:30 East. Were you really? If you didn't have that game, now be honest with me. If you didn't have that game, and I ask you James Harden and Steph Curry, would you have said James Harden?
What, wait, hold on. Why do you think just because I'm doing the game, I got to go with Steph Curry? I mean, what? I'm going to see both of them. There's no punk in my game.
They're not going to.
I would tell that to James Harden.
You would.
I'm not. Wait, hold on. I'm not alone in my thinking. I'm sure the majority of people would go with Steph.
But if you went
James
with
Harden.
James Harden and Steph came up to you and said, "Reg, what's the deal? You went with James over me?"
He would probably be a little disappointed, but I mean, it is what it is. A lot of guys are upset in certain things when we make predictions, all that. But it's my opinion. It doesn't mean anything. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, that's when I sat down with Mark Jackson. We had dinner with Patrick Ewing, and Mark set me up, and he goes, "Tell Patrick who you would take over him." And I'm sitting at dinner with Patrick Ewing, and I go, "Well, I'd take Akeem Olajuwon over you." And Patrick goes, "All right, I don't blame you." And then that was it. But it was awkward. But Mark Jackson tried to get me with that. I wasn't afraid of Patrick Ewing. Ewing.
Oh!
What?
I was afraid of Patrick.
Really?
I was. Driving the lane.
Oh, he's just a jump shooting center. Come on.
No. No, he's not. He was more than that. He was more than that.
Matumbo would scare you more than Patrick Ewing.
The finger waving, yeah, that did kind of send shivers down my spine a little bit.
You never went to. You weren't going to the hoop. That's not your game.
Here you go again. Go back, first 8 years, look at my free throw attempts. I'm not just shooting jump shots. Go back, first 8 years, just look at free throw attempts. I'm up there with Karl Malone. Just go back if you want to, to be a little historian.
Okay.
Look at the free throw attempts.
Okay, all right. He's Reggie. He'll be on the call Thursday night. Golden State Warriors and the Rockets at 10:30 Eastern on TNT. Reg?
You're the best, Theodore.
All right, buddy. Thanks. That's Reg. We'll come back. Your phone calls. The Rams-Eric Dickerson feud. How did this start? Where's it going? Why is it a feud in the first place? That's next.
Up until now, we always purchased insulation to insulate. It would help keep our warm spaces warm and our cool spaces cool. But now, Owens Corning has changed all of that with Pure Safety high-performance insulation. Pure Safety not only insulates, but also contributes to a healthier, safer, and more comfortable environment for your family. First, it's a high-performance, all-purpose insulation. It efficiently fills cavities in your home with a layer of thermal protection. Next, Pure Safety insulation contributes to better indoor air. It stays put in the walls and floors and produces 50% less dust than some other insulation products. And that means better air for you and your family to breathe in. Pure Safety insulation is fire resistant. In the case of a fire, you'll have valuable extra minutes to escape to safety, minutes that can make all the difference. And finally, Pure Safety insulation reduces noise up to 50%. It helps keep outside noise out and reduces inside noise from traveling from room to room inside. Pure Safety high-performance insulation from Owens Corning, a single product that will help improve your family's health, safety, and comfort. Learn more at puresafetyinsulation.com. That's puresafetyinsulation.com. Pure Safety Insulation, the greatest home improvement you'll never see.
My name is Anthony Ponce, and I used to be a reporter on NBC, but I got tired of being part of traditional news media. So I quit that job and became a Lyft driver. And now I interview whatever passengers end up in my back seat. So if you want to hear the best stories that real people tell me when we're driving around the city, check out my podcast. It's called Backseat Rider on PodcastOne.com, the Podcast One app, and iTunes.
Started reading the Phil Collins biography. I felt bad for him. Like he knows he became like this punchline. Now I know that's Sting and the Police there, so I'm just saying. I was thinking when I heard Sting and Phil Collins, and
same era.
Yeah, but Phil Collins had all these hits, and then he became like this punchline for some reason.
Did he get too big?
Yeah, probably. But he talks about being like alcoholism. He talked about he not physically can't play the drums anymore. But didn't he have a comeback tour? Yes, Paulie.
Wait, Phil Collins has one of the best music careers in the past 40 years. He was in Genesis when they were awesome, And then his solo career, whatever you think of it now, there was a time when he was probably one of the top 5 most famous people on earth.
But for some reason, people turned against him, didn't like him. I don't know. It's just kind of strange. Like it feels sad when he's in his autobiography. Yes.
Yeah, because he should be able to enjoy it. Be like, man, that was awesome. Look what I did. This is great.
Yeah.
It's almost like Darius Rucker had 2 separate careers that were both world famous careers.
Yeah, but people got tired of Hootie and the Blowfish, and they became a punchline. Like they got too popular, and then all of a sudden people started. You get up, and then they want to bring you back down. Thank God that never happened to me. Yes, Paulie.
I would like to know how many people goof on Hootie and the Blowfish or Phil Collins owned a Phil Collins or Hootie and the Blowfish CD at some point in their life. Because someone had to buy all those albums.
Well, okay. One of the members of Hootie and the Blowfish,
right?
Mark Bryant, said he was driving in Maryland, and he looked in the car in front of him and says, honk your horn if you hate Hootie and Blowfish. And he's going, what did I do to you?
That means you made it.
I guess. Okay, so Seton, you have Phil Collins, member of Genesis, and went solo, and he sold $100 million in both.
In each.
Okay.
Right. And so there's 2 other recording artists who have sold 100 million albums solo and 100 million albums as part of a band.
Michael Jackson.
Yes.
Prince.
No. Bands.
Neil Young.
No.
Sting's not there, is he?
No. Gosh, it's staring you right in the face.
No, you are.
Yeah.
Wait, see, no, Connor. You were staring me right in the face.
You're going to be like, oh, duh, of course.
But does Bruce Springsteen count?
No.
I give it to
You're
him.
going to be like, oh my gosh, Paul McCartney.
Oh,
of course. Paul McCartney. Duh.
Yeah, Paul.
I would have thought that Paul McCartney's solo career was that great.
No.
Yep. Baller.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Baller.
Junior's Farm pumps out a lot of albums. Remember that song?
Well, but he was in, he had a band, though. It was Wings.
Hey.
But he wasn't solo.
The internet can't be wrong, pal.
You're right. Absolutely.
Can you imagine if you were in Wings and you tell people, hey, I used to be in a band with Paul McCartney? Like, oh, really? Oh.
And you know what? Ironically, Michael Jackson got all of the Michael Jackson money and all the Paul McCartney money when he bought the
I know.
stuff. He got all that.
Paul McCartney's the one who told Michael Jackson, you should buy our music.
If our music ever comes up for bid, you should buy that.
And he did. What, for like $400 million?
Brutal. It's the worst.
Yeah. The worst. Oh, I was going to do the Rams, Eric Dickerson. You know what? Take a break here. We'll come back. And last call for phone calls as well. What we learn, what's in store tomorrow. That's coming up. Dan Patrick Show.
Did you know that if you signed up for football season tickets in Green Bay, you'd be on the waiting list for 30 years? Or Pittsburgh, the only city where all major sports teams share the same color? Here's another thing you might not know. Something that's actually really helpful. TrueCar also helps people get used cars. I'm a big used car buyer. Just picked up a 05 Subaru Forester. It's awesome. TrueCar isn't just for new cars. Their certified dealer network also has the inventory of over 7,000 pre-owned cars nationwide. So whether you buy a used car or you get real pricing on actual inventory, better buying experience through TrueCar's certified dealer network, there's another fun fact. TrueCar customers can see if they're getting a good price or a great price before buying. They're also more likely to enjoy the buying process when they connect to a TrueCar certified dealer. You know what you get, you trust what you got. So when you're ready to buy a used car or a new car, visit TrueCar to enjoy a better buying experience. I went there. I was looking all over for a Subaru 05 Forester, the LL Bean edition, Seton, and it's awesome. Get it now. Check out TrueCar.com. Some features not available in all states. Go to TrueCar.com today. TrueCar.com.
Stay tuned for 60 seconds of AP News headlines right after this podcast.
Still plenty of seats. Well, no, there's a couple of seats left on the USC bandwagon. Climb on board if you want to. Sam Darnold, their quarterback, will join us on the program tomorrow. And he's T.J. Watt. He's J.J. Watt's younger brother. Paulie says he's having a better career at Wisconsin than J.J. Watt did.
I think he has more sacks this year than J.J. Watt had in his final year at Wisconsin.
Does he have a high motor?
It has to, doesn't it?
Yeah, right.
Wisconsin white linebacker?
Yeah. Yes.
Is that a preview of tomorrow's poll question? Higher motor?
Ooh, well, we don't know.
TJ?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think America's seen enough of T.J. Watt.
They're both 6'5", so their motor could be at the same exact level.
I like that. So their engine is sort of tuned to the same level.
Right.
I like the specs are the same. So Sam Darnold from my USC Trojans will join us on the program tomorrow. The Rams Eric Dickerson situation here. I don't know what happened. Now, here's Eric Dickerson, one of the great running backs of all time, and he's had some comments about the Rams, but he's a radio broadcast, he's an analyst. His job is to, unless the Rams think he's supposed to be a homer, if Eric Dickerson has criticisms, if I'm a fan, and that's probably a bigger picture story, do you want to hear somebody be honest about your team, or do you want them to be a cheerleader for your team? Because not all analysts are homers. There are some that will be honest. Would you rather have honesty there, or would you rather have somebody who's going to be a cheerleader? Yes,
I feel like you can kind of have both. Like, I want somebody who's on my side and who is seeing the same things that I'm seeing or thinking, similar things. If it's a bad play, you're like, what the heck are they doing?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying on my couch. So it doesn't have to be just positive for the sake of like, hey, no, it's okay, keep getting out there. I want to hear somebody who's on my same side. Well,
the report is that Eric Dickerson was told that he was not welcome at Rams camp or on the sidelines. And then Jeff Fisher said, no, that's not the case. He's welcome. He's welcome. Yes, Paul.
Dickerson told the LA Times on Monday that a person in upper management told him that he made players uncomfortable and that Dickerson was not welcome on the sidelines. Later, Dickerson told the LA Times that the person who told him that was Fisher, Jeff Fisher.
Yeah.
Dickerson said Fisher didn't want the Hall of Famer around the team if he continued to publicly criticize coaches and players of the 4-17. Fisher told the Times that Dickerson had every right to be critical of the team,
yes,
but could not expect favors in return. He also said he wanted Dickerson to be around the team as much as possible. Change fast.
How silly is this?
Doesn't this bolster Eric Dickerson's reputation as a broadcaster?
Yes. Yeah, that he wants access so he can see what's going on, to understand what's going on. But that doesn't mean, hey, I'm going to bring you in here, buddy, say some nice things. You're 4-7. What do you expect him to say? Yeah, McLovin.
As a reporter, are you upset when a coach kind of gives you a tough time? Or is that sort of a badge of honor?
Oh, boy.
The reality is the best reporters are going to bristle coaches' feathers. Is that an expression? I don't think it's anywhere near an expression.
You might ruffle. I don't know if you bristle.
I think you bristle fur.
Fur bristles. I don't think you bristle fur.
I think we need somebody from Mensa to help us out here. Let me get some phone calls in here. So Eric Dickerson is welcome into the Rams camp. Is that what we're saying?
Today.
Good. Harry in Tampa. Hi, Harry. What do you have for me?
Got a follow-up comment question on the Tom Herman situation. And I agree with everything you said, that, it's a must-lie situation, and he did a lousy job of dodging a bullet. But in terms of if they'd have been brought into the Big 12, you felt like he would stay at Houston. What about the money situation? They could never, ever match what Texas was going to pay him, and it's almost always about the money with coaches.
Yeah, but Harry, you had Houston say money will not stand between us and Tom Herman. Houston is on record as saying that. I don't know, what's he get? He's getting $6 million a year. If you want a booster who wants to keep him there, $6 million is not a whole lot. And somebody eventually is going to go all in to say, I'm going to pay a coach $10 million, $15 million, because Nick Saban is worth that. And I thought Texas would make another run at him. I did. Fred in Texas. Hi, Fred.
Hey, there's a lot to cover there. One quick trivia. Did y'all remember that Phil Collins played in Robert Plant's touring band?
Yeah, that didn't go well because Robert Plant and Phil Collins didn't see eye to eye. They sort of dismissed him a little bit.
Is that a Phil Collins height joke you just made there? He's a little guy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Come on, that's not.
I know I didn't. I didn't even know how tall he was.
Nice.
Then again, I don't know Bob Plant. I'm not sure how tall he really is either. But
he looks like a guy. He looks like Thor.
He looks like a guy.
He looks like he could be 6'8". He's standing up there with his little belly shirt on and his tight jeans.
Yeah.
Singing "Stairway to Heaven." Yeah, but it went bad. I think Robert Plant dismissed Phil Collins as he was sort of in a... I don't even know how it went, but it didn't go well. And Phil Collins was crushed because he loved Led Zeppelin.
See, that's why you can't meet your idols, and you sure as heck can't, like, tour with them or something.
No, you
no
can't.
way.
That's why they keep me and Bob Costas away from each other. All right, go around the room what we learned on this program. I don't know what... Did we learn a lot, or did we learn little today? I don't know. It went so quickly.
I feel like it was pretty educational.
All right. What did you learn today then, Seton?
I learned that D. Wade brings the booze to parties.
Yeah.
Boom, invite him over.
Yeah, and if you pass the turkey to Carmelo, he's not going to pass it back.
He didn't dish it back.
No, he's not. McLovin!
Tom Herman took the Texas job at 4 a.m., and somehow that all made sense.
Paulie?
Dwayne Wade wouldn't mind playing at the goal line as wide receiver for the Bears.
Yeah. So I mentioned what I learned. I learned if you pass the turkey to Carmelo, then it doesn't come back. T.J. Watt of the Wisconsin Badgers and Sam Darnold, the USC quarterback, will join us on the program tomorrow. Make sure you check out the Dan Patrick Show app. Love it. It's great. Very proud of it. What we learned brought to you by American Express. You card members, you don't want to miss out on this through December 31st. Big reason for you to shop small. Oh, is that another Phil Collins joke? Shop small offer. Your AmericanExpressCards.com.
Thanks for listening to Dan Patrick On Demand.
That is a noble gesture.
Now you can listen to DP and the guys 24/7 on danpatrick.com.
That's pretty impressive.
Stay tuned for the latest AP News headlines from Podcast One, right after this. When shopping for car insurance, consider this. Geico has been saving people money on car insurance for over 75 years. So if you're serious about savings, it's simple. Go to geico.com. After 75 years, they know how to save you money.
AP Update. I'm Rita Foley. President-elect Donald Trump is tweeting that he's leaving his business empire to focus on being the nation's 45th president, bowing to pressure to avoid potential conflicts of interest between governing and profiting in the private sector. Trump tweeted this morning, "I will be leaving my great business in total in order to fully focus on running the country, in order to make America great again. While I am not mandated to do this under the law," he tweets, "I feel it is visually important as president to in no way have a conflict of interest with my various businesses." He said legal documents are being crafted which take him completely out of business operations. He adds that the presidency is a far more important task. The tweets this morning from President-elect Donald Trump. AP Update, I'm Rita Foley.